would tend to be the J-Rods, the Orions, um, the Draconians. The Draconians are firmly established throughout history. There are legends of these beings that going back thousands and thousands of years. I don't think you can dispute that there is some entity that fits that description that has been dealing with humans on an overt and covert basis. Um, the J Rods, the plus 45 and the plus 52 J Rods, and the plus 52 Orions. Um, I'm going to be putting up a video on timelines. I need to redo it a little bit, but in that I go into a little bit on the J Rods and the Orions. The J Rods, the plus 45s, are 45,000 years ahead of us. The plus 52s are 52,000 years ahead of us. Um, the J Rods are what we became in a timeline that involves a massive global catastrophe. They are the result of something eliminating 4.14 billion people from the face of the planet. Um, the Orions, the Orions did have a catastrophe, but it was not that scale. They still were set back, and they ended up eventually getting off the planet, and they, um, I guess, went to the Orion area, and that's why they have the name of the Orions. Um, there are others out there, I'm sure. The crash at Roswell supposedly was the J24, 24 J rods, 24,000 BCE, which would be 22,000 years ahead of us. The the problem when you start dealing with aliens and any of this is that whether it's a physical phenomena that happens in every case is debatable. Whether it's a psychic event that happens in some cases is again debatable. I think there's a little bit of both going on. Um, the the situation as we have it right now, the technology that is available to the elites and the military industrial complexes, the people that are in charge, is so far beyond what we have right now that they literally uh, they were given a warning, and in that warning it was stated that if they did not shut down certain um, equipment and machines and technology, that the global catastrophe would take place. Um, you really have to have an open mind to be able to understand some of the stuff that is going on behind the scenes. There's a group of people that were in control of this technology for 30, 40, 50 years, and they finally had gotten to the point where they were forced into a treaty with the aliens and are imagine that the entire planet is Iraq and the aliens are the United States enforcing a no-fly zone. That's probably about the simplest way that I could put it so people would understand. The planet Earth is quarantined. Why do you think we haven't been back to the moon and to Mars and, whatever? Sure, we send unmanned satellites, we send, um, probes and whatnot, but, think about how many have disappeared, how many have, gone black, supposedly, I guess is the term. Um, whether they were taken secret, as in taken black is the term I've heard before. That's debatable. Whether the aliens remove them, again, that's debatable. Uh, Distinct possibility. Until there's a lot more facts, there's no way to really judge it. Um, the the entities that are visiting the planet have technology so far beyond anything that we can conceive of, and are not, I'm not going to say emotionally advanced, but their mental processes and the way they think is so much farther advanced than what we are, um, than the stage that we are in. That, literally they are gods. I mean, they can do the things that the gods of old did. They can manipulate matter. They can manipulate time. They can do, a phenomenal number of different amazing things. And if you've ever had an encounter with one of them, I think that that's about the only thing that you can say for sure, is that these beings are far beyond us. And again, I'm not going to say emotionally, because some of the entities, like for instance the J rods are, almost mechanical, almost computer. They are very unemotional. They're very cold. They have no compunction about, you know, killing a human being and harvesting, DNA or organs or whatever for their experimentation. They have no compunction in impregnating someone and then coming back 3 months later and taking the baby. Um, it happens. Do the research and you'll see what I'm talking about. The the other side of the coin, um, yes, the the aliens have been here. Yes, they are continuing to be here. Yes, they have interacted with governments around the planet. Yes, they have done things that they were not technically allowed to do in the agreements. The problem is that when you have, and this is the same problem with like the Illuminati, is when you have technology that allows you to literally go, anywhere or any when and do pretty much whatever you want and then come back and there's no consequences. Why would you not use that technology? A moral person who understands the consequences, you still would stop and think about, what are the repercussions. But the the people who are controlling this, the J rods, they're not thinking about that. They're just thinking that, there's a catastrophe and 4 billion people die, and most of these people that we're doing experiments on are going to die in a few years anyway. And that's the way they look at it. Um, I seriously think that the human race, as it is on a fast downward slide. If we do not change and evolve to the next level of sentient awareness, if we do not become a Type 1 civilization and get off this planet, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that we are going to become, um, a joke in the dustbin of history. And honestly, it's not even going to be a good joke. So, keep an open mind, and look up to the sky, watch the stars, pay attention. It just might happen, you walk outside to go and have a cigarette or just stretch and get some fresh air, and you look up, and there might be a UFO sitting right there in front of you. The other problem is, it might look like a UFO, but what is it? It's the same problem with the aliens. They can change their appearance to look like whatever they want you to see. So some of the technology that's available can do the same thing with vehicles. If you don't believe me, look up the TR3B Astra and the TR3B TR3C Chameleon, and you were probably going to get a surprise, because if you haven't already heard of them, um, if you if you if you've not been around some of this information before, um, be aware that it's gonna change you. It's gonna change things in your life and how you think about things. Once you start delving into aliens, UFOs, you know, um, the occult, psychic powers, Carillion photography. Go and search Carillion photography on the web. There's numerous stories and articles and whatnot, and that's That's taking pictures of the human aura. You know, for years, the Western science didn't believe that the aura existed. Well, it does. You can take a picture of it. Um, like I said, once you open up your mind and start looking at some of these things, I mean, it will change you. It will change you to your core. It will shake you out of the daze and the haze and the over the counter drug induced stupor that most people are in. And um, I just hope that we have enough time left to where we can wake up and realize what's going on before it's too late. So God be with you, and um, keep an open mind and look to the sky. Look to the sky before you die. It may be the last time that you will.